Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Here, we dive into the incredible accounts of those who have experienced near-death situations, as well as other spiritual encounters. Today, I'm excited to share the remarkable journey of Amara, who claims to have died and met God, revealing a truth often hidden by religion. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to hit that button, and don't forget to drop a comment with your name and where you're from. Now, let's get into Amara's story. Hi there, I'm Amara, 42 years young, and I call Sedona, Arizona my home. You know, Sedona fits me perfectly, full of tranquility, rich in nature, and buzzing with life. I have a lovely son, Jasper, who's 14 and truly lights up my world. I've done my best to give him a childhood filled with love and the best opportunities. About a year ago, I was leading a pretty typical life. I taught physical education at a local school and enjoyed running the trails through the Rocky Mountains. Community events were a highlight, and I cherished every moment with Jasper, from our park strolls to cozy movie nights with popcorn. If you had asked me about my beliefs back then, I would have said I was a believer in God, but it felt rather distant, almost like a placeholder thought. I viewed life as a series of choices and their consequences, believing we shape our own destinies. My spiritual feelings revolved around morality and doing good, rather than any real connection with the divine. Little did I know that everything was about to change in a way I couldn't have imagined. What I'm about to reveal is how a single experience turned my entire view of life and what follows after it upside down. It's a journey that led me to understand love and acceptance in ways I never dreamt possible. Honestly, even now, I struggle to articulate the experience I had. How do you put into words something that escapes the bounds of logic and reason? But it feels crucial to me to share this narrative, hoping it finds a place in someone else's heart, offering comfort, inspiration, or perhaps a new perspective on what truly living means. So here goes. This is a tale that starts with anguish and fear, but ultimately unveils a deep understanding of unconditional love and the profound connections we all share. Imagine a journey that stretches far beyond the boundaries of what we usually think of as life, bringing me back with fresh insights and a revitalized sense of purpose. I invite you to open your heart as I share my experience. Set aside any doubts or biases for a moment. What I'm about to recount might sound extraordinary, but I promise I'm speaking from the depths of my truth, grounded in the limits of my memory and ability to communicate. Prepare yourself for a tale that pushes the boundaries of our understanding of life and death. This is how my near-death experience reshaped my view of the universe and my role within it. The story takes root on a typical autumn evening. The air in Sedona is cool, and the trees are beginning to dress in vibrant hues of red and gold. As I'm at home, cooking dinner for Jasper and myself, a sudden, sharp pain stabs through my abdomen. In the beginning, I brush it off, probably just a fleeting discomfort. Perhaps something I had for lunch didn't quite agree with me. I take a pain reliever and stretch a little, hoping it will vanish. But instead, it lingers and intensifies as the night wears on. Over the next few days, the pain doesn't just persist. It spreads. Each movement becomes a struggle, and routine tasks like getting out of bed or whipping up breakfast for Jasper turn into daunting obstacles. I find myself in and out of the local hospital where the doctors run a series of tests, yet they seem as bewildered as I am. I get medications and head home with a mix of uncertain diagnoses: urinary tract infection, possible kidney stones, maybe irritable bowel syndrome, but nothing fits just right. As time ticks on, the agony persists, and I can feel my health deteriorating rapidly. One morning, I wake up fighting for breath. My body is swollen, heavy, as if I'm trapped in a vice. Panic grips me. What is happening? Jasper senses that things are dire. I can see his eyes reflecting worry, intertwined with a fierce determination that belies his age. He promptly calls for an ambulance, and before I know it, I'm being whisked away to the hospital. In the emergency department, I'm greeted by Dr. Marcus Riley. He's a seasoned physician, someone who is already familiar with my case from previous visits. With a grave look, he reviews my tests and recommends that I be moved to a larger hospital for more specialized care. The ride to the larger hospital feels chaotic, filled with loud sirens and flashing lights around me. Pain radiates through my body, an almost unbearable sensation. It's like I'm slipping away, losing my grip on consciousness. Jasper, sitting beside me, holds my hand tightly. His eyes glisten with tears, but he keeps his voice steady, assuring me that everything will be all right. When we finally reach the new facility, I'm whisked off for a multitude of tests. It seems like they're analyzing every part of me: CT scans, MRIs, blood work, each procedure blending together into a whirlwind of urgency. After what feels like a lifetime, Dr. Marcus Riley steps into my room. His expression is grave, and right away, I sense that something isn't right. He explains that they've found a severe issue with my colon that has led to kidney failure. My body is swelling dangerously as my kidneys have essentially shut down. His voice feels distant, like I'm hearing him from underwater. Kidney failure? How did this happen? I've always been so cautious about my health. I can't believe I've come to this point without noticing. As he discusses the treatments I'll need, I can't absorb much of what he says anymore. A heavy darkness seeps in, engulfing me like a thick, suffocating blanket. The last image I have before consciousness slips away is Jasper's terrified face, tears glistening down his cheeks as he clutches my hand. Then, unexpectedly, I find myself on an incredible journey, one that would stretch the boundaries of what I thought possible and offer me a new appreciation for life. The world around me begins to fade, and the chatter of medical staff transforms into a faint hum, interrupted only by the erratic beeping of the heart monitor. The pain that has plagued me for what feels like weeks starts to lift, replaced by an unexplainable sense of lightness. Suddenly, I get this odd feeling of elevation. It's like I'm floating, watching myself from above. I can see my still body in the hospital bed, pale and motionless, while the doctors around me scramble to save me. I catch a glimpse of Dr. Riley issuing urgent commands, his hands pressing on my chest in a desperate attempt to revive me. In the corner, Jasper stands rigid, clutching the nurse's hand as terror grips his features. I want to reach out to him. I wish I could tell him that I'm all right, that there's no need for fear, but it's impossible. It feels like there's an unseen wall keeping me from reaching out to the world around me. The scene beneath me, my hospital room, the busy doctors, even my own body, starts to fade away, feeling so trivial compared to what's happening inside me. Suddenly, I realize something incredible is occurring. It's something that surpasses all science, something deeply beyond any medical understanding. Here I am, caught between the realms of life and death, on the brink of a transformation that will redefine everything I ever thought about existence. As I drift upwards, a gentle, warm light envelops me. It's not harsh or shocking. Instead, it's a soft glow that feels like an invitation. I can't help but feel that this light is reaching out to me, beckoning me closer. With every inch, a profound sense of calm washes over me. Gone are the fears that had plagued my mind, the worries that weighed me down. They evaporate, leaving only peace in their wake. The physical pain that had driven me to this moment completely disappears, replaced by an indescribable feeling of wellness. I glance back at the room below. Doctors are still working desperately to revive me, and I spot Jasper's tormented expression. A wave of sadness hits me as I witness it all, yet I also understand that what lies ahead is far beyond the ordinary grasp of human experience. I turn towards the light, giving myself over to it entirely. It's like plunging into an ocean filled with pure, unconditional love, where I am embraced and accepted in a way I've never known before. In that embrace, all the barriers I've built, all the judgments I've carried, both toward myself and others, begin to fade away. As I move through this luminous space, it feels as if I'm speeding along, yet I also feel deeply still. It's a paradox that my human mind struggles to grasp, but somehow it feels right in this new existence. As I continue through the light, I begin to catch glimpses of what lies beyond. Vibrant shapes and colors that have no counterpart in the physical realm start to form around me. I sense the presence of other beings nearby, though they remain elusive. Then, almost abruptly, the experience changes. I find myself in a place that transcends any description known to Earth. It's as if I've stepped into something entirely otherworldly. In a dimension that defies the usual constraints of time and space, I stand on the brink of something extraordinary. This journey promises to unveil encounters with the divine, revealing truths I never thought were within reach. I'm about to step into a new reality, one that will alter my very essence. As I move into the light, I'm greeted by a breathtaking place that feels almost ethereal. Imagine a park, yet it's far removed from anything found on Earth. The colors here are alive, so vivid and intense. The trees' greens are deeper than I've ever known, as if they're pulsing with vitality. Flowers burst with hues that escape the definitions of our language, showcasing a beauty that is simply beyond comprehension. The atmosphere is thick with tranquility. It's not just silence, but an enveloping peace that touches every part of my being. Breathing in this air feels like inhaling pure love and calmness. The melodies of the birds wrap around me, each one carrying rich emotions and messages, resonating with my very soul. It's like the music is conscious, swirling through the air, connecting with me in ways that are profoundly moving. As I drink in the beauty surrounding me, a figure approaches. It's a woman, radiating serenity and a smile that feels like a warm embrace. There's something about her that stirs familiarity, like I've known her forever, even if this is our first meeting. When she draws closer, waves of warmth and acceptance flood over me. Her eyes gleam with compassion, reaching deep into my essence and embracing every facet of my being. "Welcome, Amara," she says, her voice a soothing melody. Before I can gather my thoughts, she envelops me in a hug that feels like the universe itself is wrapping me in love. In that moment, all my fears and uncertainties melt away. When we finally pull apart, I gaze at her, curious and awed. "Who are you?" I ask, even though a part of me feels I already know. Her smile is soft and knowing. "I'm Claire Everly," she responds. "I'm here to guide you through this experience." The name doesn't ring a bell, yet I feel an unbreakable bond with Claire, as if we have shared countless lifetimes together. "Where am I ask, my eyes wide with wonder as I take in this enchanting realm. Amara gestures widely, her expression filled with warmth. "You're in a reality that transcends the limits of time and space, a realm some might label heaven or the spiritual plane. Names don't really matter here. What's crucial is your opportunity to learn and grow." As her words sink in, a whirlwind of feelings swirls within me. Joy and peace intermingle with curiosity, alongside a twinge of worry. "Learn and grow?" I echo, admiration lacing my tone. "But did I pass away?" Amara's face lights up with understanding. "No, dear. You're experiencing what many refer to as a near-death experience. Your physical form is still alive, but your consciousness has temporarily risen above the earthly plane." I nod slowly. It's tough to align the tranquility I sense here with the troubling thought that my body is still in a hospital, fighting for its life. "So what happens now?" I ask, a bit uncertain about the next steps. "Now we embark on a journey of discovery," Amara replies, extending her hand toward me. Confidence courses through me as I take it, and anticipation bubbles up. I can't shake the feeling that I'm about to dive into an incredible adventure. As we stroll through this ethereal landscape, Amara guides me down a shimmering path that feels as if it's woven from pure light. With each step, the surroundings shift gradually. Dense trees and vibrant flowers yield to a vast expanse that seems to extend without end. We reach a location that I can only describe as a temple of light, not a physical building, but a space pulsating with energy and consciousness. Upon entering, I notice we're not alone. Other beings gather here, each one radiating a warmth and wisdom that leaves me utterly speechless. "It's time to reflect on your life," Amara says quietly. "Don't be anxious. We're here to support you." Before I can even form a question about what this entails, the atmosphere around us transforms dramatically. Suddenly, I'm enveloped in vivid scenes from my own existence. It's as if I'm watching a 360-degree movie, but this time, there's a critical element. I feel the emotions tied to each moment. The review starts with my earliest memories. I see myself as a tiny child, taking awkward first steps, laughter erupting as I'm cradled in my parents' arms. The pure, unconditional love they showered on me washes over me, filling me with profound gratitude. As I navigate through memories, I find myself revisiting pivotal moments that shaped my life. I'm in school, surrounded by friends, tackling obstacles head-on. The thrill of a first crush mingles with the sting of early heartbreak. Each experience hits me with an intensity I didn't think was possible. What truly surprises me, though, is the way I'm not only feeling my emotions. It's almost as if I'm tapping into the feelings of those around me in every snapshot of the past. I recall being kind to a classmate who was picked on, and I feel my own sense of satisfaction meld with that child's relief and gratitude. On the flip side, when I think back to times I acted selfishly or lost my patience, I can also feel the hurt I caused them. It's fascinating. There's no judgment here, only a profound understanding of how my actions impacted others. I can vividly remember the day Jasper was born, experiencing again that overwhelming wave of unconditional love as I held him for the very first time. The journey of being a single mother flashes before me, highlighting how each choice I made influenced not just my life but also his. As I delve deeper, patterns emerge. I see clearly how specific decisions led to certain outcomes. Those little acts of kindness I brushed off, they had a ripple effect I never acknowledged. And of course, there were moments I let fear hold me back, and times when judgment blurred my ability to show compassion. Yet this reflection doesn't come with shame. Rather, it's a profound understanding that fuels my desire to improve. Throughout this journey, I feel the quiet encouragement from Claire and the other beings surrounding us. Their gazes lack judgment, filled instead with an unconditional love that is comforting. When the review comes to an end, I feel a transformation within me. It's like I've acquired a fresh lens through which to view my life and my place in the cosmos. I turn to Claire, tears of gratitude and newfound awareness welling in my eyes. "What's next?" I ask, my voice trembling with emotion. With a gentle smile, Claire replies, "Now, Amara, you're ready for the next chapter of your journey. There's someone very special who wishes to connect with you." Just then, the temple of light around us starts to shift again, setting the stage for what promises to be the most profound moment of this incredible experience. As the brilliance begins to fade, it morphs into a realm that feels beyond the grasp of earthly description, almost as though we're suspended in a boundless sea of pure light. Nestled in a realm of colors beyond the grasp of human description, Claire gently leads me through this otherworldly environment. Anticipation bubbles within me, mingling with a deep sense of awe that tells me something transformative is on the horizon. Out of nowhere, I sense a presence. It's not something I can visually capture or audibly hear, but rather a feeling that envelops my entire essence. This presence is all-encompassing, filling the cosmos yet being intimately close to my soul. As Claire steps back slightly, I find myself face to face with this entity. It's neither male nor female, lacking any shape that would fit our earthly definitions. It's simply existence, an unmistakable consciousness radiating love in its most unadulterated and selfless form. Strangely, despite feeling utterly exposed, fear has no place here. Instead, I am enveloped in an acceptance and love that surpasses anything I have ever felt. Then a voice resonates, not through my ears, but deep within my spirit. "Amara," it says, and the sound of my name washes over me, resonating with pure affection. "You've always perceived a God that judges, haven't you?" I find myself agreeing in my mind, recalling the times I viewed God as a strict overseer, poised to punish the sinful and reward the virtuous. The present speaks again. What you are witnessing now is the truest embodiment of God, unconditional, beyond judgment, simply love. Every religion you know is merely a pathway to comprehend this love, yet none encapsulates its entirety. As those words settle, I feel as though layers of misunderstanding begin to peel away from my perception. Suddenly, I can see how my limited views on God shape my perspective of the world and myself. But how does this reconcile with sin? What about the darkness we see in life? My earthly mind grapples with the contradiction of unconditional love against the stark realities of existence. The voice responds with gentle wisdom. What you label as sin or malevolence is simply the result of a separation from universal love. It's not something to be punished, but understood and healed through love. A wave of insight washes over me. I realize that all suffering, all pain, all actions deemed bad stem from a disconnection with this profound love. So what, then, is the purpose of life? I find myself pondering, almost like a kid gazing up at the stars. "What's this all about?" I ask, filled with a sense of wonder. The presence responds, "The aim is to experience, grow, and learn. Every moment, Every life serves as a chance for consciousness to expand and for love to reveal itself in unique ways. A wave of tranquility washes over me, unlike anything I've ever known. In this moment, all my worries and doubts fade into nothingness, leaving behind only love. Right here, I feel deeply connected to everything around me. It's so clear how intertwined every being, every tiny particle is, all dancing together in this vast cosmos of love and awareness. Just as the presence begins to fade, it leaves me with an important reminder. Amara, you are cherished beyond comprehension. You've always been part of this universal love. Hold on to this truth. As the presence gently dissipates, a sense of certainty and peace fills me, something I've never experienced before. I turn to Claire, who meets my gaze with a knowing smile. "You're all set for the next chapter of your journey," she murmurs softly. With my heart brimming with love and wisdom, I brace myself for the unfolding of what lies ahead in this incredible journey beyond life. After that powerful meeting with the Divine Presence, I feel entirely changed. It's as if every part of me is resonating with a fresh wavelength of love and wisdom. The depth of peace I feel grips me so tightly that the thought of leaving this place is almost too much to bear. Claire stands beside me, her expression radiating kindness and insight. She gently ushers me into a new realm, glowing with a pure golden light. Here, I'm wrapped in a warm embrace, as if the universe itself is holding me close. "Amara," Claire gently speaks, "you've come a long way on your journey. Now a vital choice awaits you." I raise my eyebrows, curiosity mixed with nervousness. "What choice?" With a serene smile, she replies, "The choice to either return or stay." My heart leaps in surprise. The thought of going back to the physical world with all its struggles and limitations feels almost unbearable after the love and peace I've found here. How could I possibly let this go? "But do I really have a choice?" I ask, a bit taken aback. Claire nods affirmatively. "Yes, Amara, you do. Free will is truly one of the most incredible gifts we have. The choice is always yours," she says, and I pause, letting her words sink in. A part of me craves to remain here. I feel whole, at peace, completely connected to everything around me. The thought of going back to my physical body, to a world teeming with trials and heartache, feels almost unbearable. Then, out of nowhere, an image flashes before me. It's Jasper, my son. I see his tear-filled eyes as he sits beside me in that hospital room. I can sense his anguish, his longing for his mother to return. This vision crashes over me like a wave, awakening me to the many responsibilities and relationships I still hold in this life. It's not just about Jasper, it's about all those students who look up to me, and the friends and family who care so deeply. Claire observes me closely, her expression filled with understanding. "You have important work left to do on Earth," she gently reminds me. "Your child needs you, and your experience needs to be shared with the world." Tears well up in my eyes, but they're not just sadness. They come from profound clarity. Even though the serenity I feel right now is extraordinary, my journey on Earth is still unfolding. There are lessons to learn, love to give, and growth to experience. But how can I go back, I ask, my voice trembling with emotion. How do I leave behind this peace, this love, only to return to a world that often feels so harsh and unwelcoming? Claire places her hand softly on my shoulder. "Amara, you'll never truly lose this love. It's embedded in who you are and in everything around you. Your mission now is to carry some of this light back, to share it with those who need it." Slowly, I nod, a newfound determination rising within me. I come to understand that going back isn't about loss. It's an opportunity, a chance to live with a fresh perspective, to be a source of love and understanding in a world longing for it. "I'm ready," I finally assert, my voice finding steadiness despite the moisture in my eyes. Claire beams at me, her eyes reflecting approval and warmth. "You are so brave, Amara. Always hold on to the experiences you've had here. Let them illuminate your path while you're back on Earth." She envelops me in one last embrace, and I can feel all of the love in the universe flowing into me through her. As we pull apart, I notice the surroundings starting to fade. "It's time to return," Claire whispers gently. "Take our love with you, Amara. Never forget it. Remember, you are cherished more than you can imagine." Those words reverberate in my mind as I feel a gentle tug pulling me back. The golden glow starts to dim, and I begin the journey back to my physical self, a heart brimming with love, serenity, and newfound purpose. Re-entering my body is an experience that's nearly impossible to articulate. It feels like plunging into a stormy sea of sensations, each wave crashing more forcefully than the last. The sense of peace and lightness I embraced in that spiritual realm begins to fade, replaced by a dawning awareness of my physical form. At first, it's a suffocating weight. Every cell feels like it's being pushed down by an unseen force. It's a jarring discomfort, especially after the freedom I had just known. Then slowly I start to reconnect with my surroundings, the rough texture of the hospital sheets against my skin, the sharp coldness of the air filling my lungs, and the steady beeping of the heart monitor echoing in my ears. Gradually, I catch snippets of conversation around me. They're just whispers at first, distant and muddled, but soon clarity emerges. That's definitely Dr. Riley's voice, the professionalism in his tone failing to obscure the relief he's expressing. Her vital signs are stabilizing, he remarks. I believe she's coming back. A muffled sob enters my awareness. It's Jasper, and my heart sinks at the thought of the worry and despair he must have endured. Summoning every bit of strength, I manage to pry my eyes open. The brightness is overwhelming, almost painful compared to the gentle illumination I'd basked in before. I blink rapidly, trying to regain my focus. Dr. Riley's face comes into my view, his expression a mix of surprise and relief. I can feel his grip on my hand, shaking slightly. "Amara," he whispers, disbelief lacing his words. "You're back." I want to respond, but my throat feels parched and scratchy. Only a raspy sound emerges. "Don't rush to speak," Dr. Riley advises softly. "You've been through so much, just rest." But there's something inside me that urgently needs to be conveyed, a message that can't be put off. With great effort, I manage to push the words out. "I never really left," I manage to croak. The confusion in Dr. Riley's eyes is evident, yet before he can say anything, Jasper steps closer to the bed. His eyes are red and puffy from tears, but when our gazes lock, his face lights up with an unmistakable smile. "Mom," he says, the emotion cracking his voice. He takes my other hand and squeezes it tightly, almost as if afraid I might vanish again. As I gaze at my son, a profound sense of love fills me. It's an entirely different kind of love, richer and fuller than anything I've felt before. In him, I see beyond just my child. He embodies the boundless love I've encountered throughout my own journey. A nurse walks in, her face bright with curiosity. "Mrs. Leal," she says gently, well, technically you were dead for a few minutes. Do you remember anything?" I pause and let my eyes flutter shut, recalling the brilliant light, the pure love, the presence that felt so divine. A warm smile spreads across my face. "I remember it all," I respond, my voice still shaky but laced with certainty. I catch a glance between Dr. Riley and the nurse, a blend of intrigue and doubt crossing their features. But you know what? Their skepticism doesn't bother me. I am certain of what I experienced, and I understand that my life is forever altered. As fatigue seeps back in, a soothing peace washes over me. It's not the same otherworldly tranquility from my spiritual journey, but rather a comforting knowledge that, regardless of everything, I am embraced by love in its purest form. With my eyes closed, I let myself drift into rest. I know that when I awaken, there will be plenty to digest and share. For now, I find solace in the thought that I'm back, transformed, and poised to approach life with a renewed sense of purpose and insight. The days following my return are filled with the dual challenge of physical healing and deep contemplation. While my body seeks to mend, my mind is abuzz, processing everything from my experience near the end of life. Hours slip by as I lie in my hospital bed, replaying each moment of that journey. The profound peace and unconditional love I felt in that spiritual place linger within me, like the echo of a beautiful song. The core message from that experience is crystal clear and constantly resonates in my thoughts. Acceptance equates to love, and that's what the divine, or whatever you may call it, truly desires from us. I find myself reflecting on the barriers we've erected on Earth between religions, cultures, and individuals, and how insignificant they seem in the grand scheme of existence. This realization prompts me to look back at my own life, recognizing how often I pass judgment on others and even on myself, allowing fear and insecurity to hold me back from loving and embracing unconditionally. A sense of gratitude mingles with regret within me. I regret the moments that have slipped away, but I'm thankful for the chance to start anew. Most days, Jasper is right there beside me, holding my hand with a look in his eyes that speaks of both love and fear. Fear that I might vanish at any moment. It's as if he's a mix of relief and curiosity. He wants to hear about what I experienced, but there's a hesitation behind his desire. I decide to reveal my story to him bit by bit, choosing my words carefully, wanting to ease him in rather than overwhelm him. His eyes grow wide with wonder as I describe the feelings of pure love and the sense of unity I felt with the universe around me. One evening, with a tremor in his voice, he asks, "Mom, if it was so amazing, why did you come back?" Looking at him, my heart swells with affection. "I came back for you, Jasper," I reply softly. "For you and for everyone else who hasn't yet heard this message of love and acceptance." I notice tears glistening in his eyes as he wraps his arms around me tightly. In that moment, I can truly sense that I'm beginning to fulfill the purpose that called me back. As the days roll by and my health improves, more and more visitors arrive. Friends, former colleagues, and even some of my students. Everyone seems eager to learn what I went through, to understand what it truly means to die. I quickly recognize that many come burdened by fear, the fear of death and the unknown awaits them. My aim is to share my experience in a way that promotes comfort and instills hope. Death is not an ending, I assure them. It's merely a transition into a state filled with unconditional love and acceptance. I watch as their responses vary. Some look skeptical, while others appear profoundly moved. Yet, without fail, everyone leaves my room transformed in some way, and that thought fills me with hope. One quiet night, feeling the pull to express myself, I grab a notebook and begin to write. The words pour out as if unleashed from a river, capturing every intricate detail of my experience. It hits me. I have a story to tell, not to persuade anyone, but to uplift. As I continue writing, a sense of purpose solidifies within me. It's more than relaying a personal tale. It's about communicating a message of love, acceptance, and interconnectedness that has the potential to change lives. With each passing day, I notice my strength is returning, not just physically, but on a spiritual level too. My journey isn't just a singular event, it's the onset of a new approach to life. Every moment now serves as a chance to embrace the unconditional love and acceptance I felt in that otherworldly experience. Sure, I'm aware that the journey ahead won't be straightforward. There will be obstacles, uncertainties, and times when the harshness of reality could overshadow the truths I've discovered. Yet I also carry a light within me, a divine connection that will illuminate my path no matter what challenges arise. As I get ready to leave the hospital and step back into the world, an excitement builds within me for this new chapter. I can't wait to see how this newfound understanding will influence my life and those around me in Sedona. The months after my release become a time of rediscovery, a transformation taking place at every turn. Each day presents fresh ways to apply the insights I gained during my near-death experience, making every interaction an opportunity to share that love. My bond with Jasper grows in ways I never thought possible. Our time together is filled with a deeper sense of presence. Instead of just talking about love and acceptance, I demonstrate it through my actions, and I watch him thrive in this nurturing atmosphere, becoming more empathetic and considerate towards his peers and the world at large. Returning to my teaching role, my students immediately detect the change in my approach. I become more patient, infusing my lessons with love. Rather than viewing each student merely as someone to educate, I now appreciate them as unique manifestations of divine love. This shift in perspective transforms my classroom into a nurturing space for acceptance and mutual growth. My spiritual life undergoes a significant shift as well. I find myself liberated from concerns about judgment or rigid religious doctrines. It becomes clear to me that at the heart of everything lies love, and all the world's religions are just distinct paths leading to that universal truth. I start attending various places of worship, churches, temples, mosques, not to confine myself to one faith, but to celebrate the rich tapestry of how the divine is expressed. I also begin to share my journey with community groups, offering talks to anyone open to listening. My intention isn't to persuade anyone to change their beliefs, but rather to provide a perspective that can offer comfort and inspiration. It's remarkable how my words resonate with people, often encouraging them to reflect on their own beliefs about life in profound new ways. My journey back to life has led to something I never expected: the publication of my book. Beyond the light, my journey back to life has reached people far and wide, and I'm receiving letters from readers all around the globe. Many have shared how my experiences helped them face their fears about death and find renewed meaning in their lives. Yet, adjusting to this new reality comes with its challenges. There are days when the weight of life feels almost unbearable. In those moments, the memory of the serene peace I once felt can make the world seem harsh and unkind. I often find solace in the words of my friend Claire. You will never truly let go of this love. It is part of who you are, part of everything that is. Embracing that love helps me tap into inner peace, especially during difficulties. I've incorporated daily meditation into my routine, which helps me reconnect with that feeling of unity I once experienced. Whenever stress steps in or conflict arises, I remind myself to breathe deep and focus on the truth that everyone and every situation is an expression of divine love, no matter how challenging. On top of that, I've noticed remarkable improvements in my health that even my doctors find astonishing. The condition that nearly took my life has seemingly vanished. Dr. Marcus, always with a sense of humor, playfully remarks that I've been reborn both spiritually and physically. As the years roll by, I can see the ripple effect of my story expanding. More and more people are connecting with my experiences and sharing them, creating a growing network of empathy and understanding. Sitting down to write this today, I feel an overwhelming sense of peace. I understand my journey is ongoing, filled with opportunities for learning and growth. I trust that I'm on the right path, guided by the unconditional love I felt beyond life. The future remains a mystery. I can't predict how many more years I'll have here or what they'll hold, but I cherish each moment, each interaction as a chance to share love. And I firmly believe that when the time comes for me to transition again, I will be welcomed back into that realm of light and love. For now, I embrace my journey on this earth, thankful for every day, every breath, and every possibility to be a channel of that divine love I discovered. To those reading my words, I want to share this. You are immeasurably loved. You always have been and always will be part of this universal love. Let that knowledge guide you on your own journey. When you embark on this journey, you'll find a sense of purpose and tranquility that goes beyond what we often experience in everyday life. It's more than just a story. It's a glimpse into my own path through the darkness and back to the light. And honestly, this is only the beginning for me. If what you've heard resonates with you, I'd love for you to show some love by liking this video. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. I really enjoy hearing from you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you won't miss out on any future updates. I look forward to connecting with you again soon.